shows. We'll have to have you on again later too with Lawrence and get all four of us together because he's a hoot. With the three of us, I know you've seen our Wizards councils. We go
Yeah.
all out sometimes. We have some fun because we have to.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't know if my beard game is strong enough for this Substack Live, boys.
It's not yet there, but you're getting it in there.
Honestly, we do the beard thing because it's insecurity because like I'm
I
putting
look like a
myself up.
child when I
Well,
don't
I'm
have a
putting
fucking
myself
beard.
up as a mail order husband for Canadian women, so I've got to go extra. Like that's my abandoned my expat plan or my get out of real fascism America plan is Canada or Australia. So I'm pretty much leaning Canada. That's why I got the beard.
Okay, yeah, you just want to
Okay.
assimilate into Canada and kind of like, you want to go
That's
into
it.
Northern Ontario and everybody's going to be like, look at that guy. All you need is like one of those Mac Tac jackets. We like to
That's
call
it.
them the Keswick dinner jacket or some denim and like a black T-shirt or something that says AC/DC on the front. Dude, you will pass for a Northern Ontarian like that with
What
that beard.
about
Same
some,
with you,
like-
Nick.
I'm there
What
for it,
about some,
man.
like, I'm from Vermont originally, so
Yeah.
like I used to go to Montreal. We used to take trips to Montreal for school
Sure.
field trips growing up, and Vermont flannel would fit right in. Like just put on a nice little flannel jacket.
That's all you need.
Yeah, like the beard, it fits you right in. You're woolly. Just own a moose or two.
No, you can't have those here. You're not allowed to keep a moose as a pet. I don't know if you guys know that. I mean, you want to go the full Monty, you get a pet moose, go ahead. You can, however, have like a hybrid wolf and live in the woods. And you guys both look like survivalists. Like I'm betting that between both of you, we've got 7 to 10 years worth of preserved jams and foods in your basement.
I don't actually have a basement, so you got about 6 weeks with me at most.
Okay.
I've got 6 months. We'd be here 6 months. We'd be all right. As long as, 6
But I know
months.
how to get to 6 months real quick. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, the problem is if I go to Ontario or Northern Ontario, what's going to give me away is as soon as it gets really cold, my son will come out and be like, "Damn!" Yeah, and they'll be like, "It's like it'll be like the body snatchers, like just get the point." And he's like, "American." It's like, "Oh no, oh
see,
no."
I'll give it away the second we start talking about maple syrup, and I just go Vermont's better.
Oh, you're done.
It's funny. I think there's this myth that Americans have over Canadians that we're somehow protective over our maple syrup monopoly. No one here gives a shit about maple syrup.
You guys don't have.
We have so much of it. It's like growing up with a ping pong table. You just never use it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I don't even eat pancakes. Like maple syrup up here is like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess we're the kings of maple syrup. So when someone's like, you want to have a maple syrup fight, like right now with you. I'm like, sure, I guess Vermont might be better. I mean, we don't really know. But the one thing you guys have to do if you plan on marrying a Canadian and coming up here and assimilating is you got to change how you say certain words. You really got to extend the O's and the U's, right? You can't, There's no sorry. There's no A in sorry. It's sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah. Supper instead of dinner. We're having supper tonight, everyone, not dinner. Let's go for fucking supper.
You want to go out to the garage? Yay. Go shooting.
Yeah. Hey,
Vermont,
fucking rights.
see,
And everything is fucking rights
fucking
and fucking A. And the other thing is that you have to refer to inanimate objects as she, right? If you have a truck, you're like, oh, she's a fucking beauty.
Geez, I'm
gonna
go out to the garage and get your truck.
My plan is to watch like a marathon of Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And, and then I'm going to do that like two this back to back before I go.
That's it's a good little Cole's Notes over Rosetta Stone for a Canadian. But what you want to do is if you're going to watch Jared Keeso's show, which is Letterkenny, you want to watch Shoresy.
Shoresy's good too. I love Shoresy.
Without question, it is the most Canadian show you will ever see in your life. Do that. Listen to the Tragically Hip for a month, and you're more than welcome to come in. We might even give you a job and a bunch of money. So.
Can't confirm.
So we brought you on because you're friggin' awesome. And it's great to have you here with us. But we also wanted to pick your brain on some cool issues. And there's some, as I prefaced the show with in my call out this morning, or my note this morning was tiny testicled tank Trump is fucking rolling along through fascism and trying to pressure Canadians into becoming a 51st state and trying to bully a country for no fucking reason. And now we've got Mainers trying to get Alberta to secede and rescind all its laws and become American. Can you tell me your feelings on that? Because I don't think you were explicit enough in the pre-show on how you felt about that. I really want to pick your brain.
Nick's setting me up. I love it. Nick and Fred, it's awesome to be here with you guys. A great little preamble, and thank you so much for having me. I'm big fans of yours as well, and how you stand up for authenticity and real values, real character virtues, and you're real men, boys. It's not just the beards. You've got the moral fortitude and the values that make America America, and that you guys are a light in American media, a light in American commentary. So thanks for having me. Yeah, so
I gotta go. I gotta cut you off. I gotta go do some Pete Hegseth push-ups now. Like you just
those weren't push-ups.
I gotta be a man now.
Did you see the pull-ups? You see the pull-ups?
Those aren't even like Fred's a Marine.
Yeah.
And so he knows pull-ups, and those weren't pull-ups.
I can't do them anymore, but I know pull-ups, and it's just like, bro, come on, man. Like,
no, those are not real men. Those were not real push-ups, and and the whole offer to join the United States of America is not real either, depending on who you ask. Listen, I'm really I'm blown away every day that I see the MAGA / Russia / CCP ops grind it up here in Canada, that seem to run lockstep with our version of the GOP, which is a party called the Conservative Party of Canada. And the disinformation and the misinformation is one thing, but the earnest effort to somehow pull a province out of Canada so that they can disrupt the confederation of provinces, which we know is this great white north, is in full swing. We've got an ambassador up here. His name's Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, and he is from the state of Michigan, and he was kicked out of the Netherlands several years ago for trying to organize far-right rallies with Gert Wilder. So what does Trump do? He sends Pete Hoekstra up here. What has Pete Hoekstra done for the past couple of months? Start to increase the rhetoric, appearing with alt-right Canadian Maple MAGA influencers on their stupid little podcast, going on about, Canada started the trade war. It wasn't us. I mean, that's where we're at. And so now he's trying to pin the trade war on us. And then a couple of days ago, some dude named Joseph E. Martin, he's a senator of Maine. He's not even like a real fucking senator. He's a state senator. It's like
it's senator light.
It's senator adjacent, right? It's for the he sends a letter.
People are.
Yeah, it's a training wheel senator, is what.
Yeah,
it is.
I like that one. It's a good one. Yeah, it's like a potty training for a real senator. So he's a religious zealot. He sends a letter to about 900 elected Canadian, duly Canadian officials, provincial and federal, and it's a 4-page banger. And this letter looks like it was written by a guy who was on fucking acid while attending a 10-hour church ceremony. And it goes on and on about how, and keep in mind, he's inviting Canadians to join Canada, inviting Canadian politicians to commit fucking sedition and treason against their own country. And all you have to do is give us, this is in his letter, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia, give up your flag, give up your laws, give up your money, give up your passports, serve one nation under God, a Christian nationalist nation, and you're going to have a great fucking time down here. What the senator from Maine, or the adjacent senator from Maine, fails to realize is we have fucking televisions and the internet. And we're watching the United States of America disappear their own citizens, throw Americans in concentration camps, cancel habeas corpus, fundamental fucking basic human rights. We are watching the takeover, the fascist takeover nation, where gun violence is the #1 killer of children, where you have hundreds of school shootings every single year. We don't have any of that. We got none of that. We got universal health care. Last year alone, 600,000 medical bankruptcies declared in the United States and Canada. Zero. We're at #3 in the quality of life and the happiness index of countries around the world. So, unfortunately for the senator of Maine, it was a shot in the dark. But that's the kind of stuff, and I said this on our Substack Live with Zev yesterday. That's the kind of stuff that just simply needs one answer. Senator Joseph Martin, go fuck yourself. Pete Hoekstra, go fuck yourself. We don't need it. We don't want it. We know we're better than you. We know you're holding people like Nick and Fred hostage. We know. We don't want any of that. And when this is done, and all of you are at the Hague, all of you are being tried for war crimes against your own people, we're going to sit back and laugh and drink our tea and eat our pancakes with maple syrup and just say, I told you so. And then high five guys like Fred and Nick across the border and say, job well done. So there you go.
Here's the thing. I think, if I may, and I want to be fair, because Dean, I don't think that although a 4-page acid trip of 10 hours of church service sounds freaking amazing,
Doesn't sound terrible, yeah.
But
a lot of dragons.
I think what Canadians don't really understand about Americans, and if I may, is we have a thing that we've called on Banner and Backbone our unnecessary patriotism, which permeates life, and we call it the eagle jizz. And you get wonderful things like the Stars and Stripes just being on everything.
And the Eagle Jizz hotline.
Oh, yeah. We got the Eagle Jizz hotline. You get to say things like America. You get to wave flags. They get to be on unnecessary places like underwear.
Speedos.
Yeah.
With a flag on them. With
a in the middle of a hurricane. Yeah.
Of course.
The flag at the wind.
Yeah.
AR-15s at the wind.
No, you're not going to get health care
right there.
And you're going to have your kids die from.
But you get guns.
Yeah, you get guns. You get a lot of them. There's more guns than people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's more guns than
and especially with all the gun deaths, that gap is widening every single day.
Yeah. We're getting more and more guns per capita. Like, come join us in the gun capital of the world as we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Because when was the last time you heard of 100 guns getting killed by a human being? Hasn't happened.
And that's the thing. We look at the United States of America very differently than we did, 6-8 months ago, right? But we always knew that the United States of America had a major fucking problem with guns. And we have an American problem with guns too, because y'all keep smuggling. Y'all keep smuggling your guns over here. And to hide that fact, Donald Trump's like, Canada's sending boatloads of fentanyl through the land borders crossings of the United States. It's truly a mirage. And so, I know America has warts. I know America is, has caused their own problems with flooding, a country of 370 million people with about 410 million guns. And the problem's only getting worse because everybody's getting more divided. And, like I said the other day, Donald Trump's problem isn't, 300 million Americans. It's 300 million Americans didn't vote for him that have fucking guns. That he's trying to kettle, that he's picking up on the streets, that he is telling that they don't have their basic human rights anymore. And where I think this is going to get really interesting when you look at it from a Canadian's perspective, that opportunity to vote, or the pride in voting, and the freedom to be able to vote, is what's coming with Donald Trump, which is his effort for election reform, his effort to try to stop mail-in voting, try to stop Smartmatic machine voting, and to force all of you to either give up your right to vote in 2026 with martial law, which is what DC is, which is what LA was, which is probably coming to Chicago, Baltimore, and a few other countries, New York specifically, that's when the fur will fly. As we look at it from outside, as guys like you go, okay, I'm packing heat too. And now you're threatening me and my freedom and my God-given ability to go and fucking cast a vote. It's time to strap on. And that's what I'm afraid of in the United States of America.
We're afraid of that too. We're terrified of that.
It's interesting that we were talking about that exactly, because the amount of guns, yet no one on the progressive side has just started to shoot people. It's almost like it's not really the guns. I mean, there's a proliferation of guns makes it an easy way to kill people with guns. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like it's not the left-wing people or the progressives or normal people trying to kill people and shoot each other all the time. We just want to live. But like you said, someone's going to come at me I might not make it out either. I might not make it out, but you sure as fuck ain't making it out. You come into my house, you ain't making it out. And that's the thing, is that's what they're making America into, is a Gestapo state, an apartheid state. And
Yep.
no, Canada doesn't want to fucking join us for that. Like, Canada is fighting back against that. And we should use our friends to the north as the example of what freedom could look like. Where you were talking about yesterday about, I don't know if it's outlawed, but outlawing basically like religious based doctrine as law, or restricting it in how you can be a representative, so that only those who are really more middle of the road and aren't extreme can get in.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Both American. You guys God fearing? Do you subscribe to a religious ideology?
No.
No. Did you grow?
I'm agnostic.
Okay, me too.
Right.
Did you grow up in it? Parents?
Yes.
Family?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I grew up in the South, so, yep.
Okay.
I-
As did I. And the one thing that I understand from being apostate, which is what you call it when you grow up in a certain faith and then you wake up one day and go, "Oh my God, you people are fucked."
Yep.
Oh my God, this is a fucking cult. I need to get out. I'm like 19.
Yep.
Let's leave, please.
The one thing that the Christian faith, and this is the bugaboo around Christian nationalism, and this is why when people talk about Christian nationalism being a good thing.
Hold on, I'm gonna cut you off. Can we call them nationalist Christians?
Yeah.
Qasim Rashid said this: nationalist Christians, because that just shortens down to Nazis.
Okay, yeah, nationalist Christians. Yes. Fuck, I love doing these with you guys already. What are we, 15 minutes in? This is the best.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes in and we're having the best.
Any way you could strip someone down and make the conversation more pejorative about the people that you can't stand, I'm in. Okay.
But before you launch to that, again, I don't want to lose this, because as an American, I feel like I want to give you guys advice on how to navigate our punk ass POTUS, because he's kind of an idiot. And if you notice, his cuisine tastes are not really, they're kind of childish.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem we're having with the fentanyl accusation from Canada is one of really just a misnomer. So I think you guys need to explain to him you're bringing poutine across the border and not fentanyl.
Because I
don't think he knows what that is, right? It's not ketchup. So he's just like, I don't understand what this is. Why is this on fried?
What's all the potatoes and the gravy and the cheese curds? Where's the Big Mac?
Is that what fentanyl is? Because I'm addicted now. I'm addicted to this.
Dude, if you haven't had poutine, it's more addictive than fentanyl, I'll tell you that.
I know,
right
that's
now.
why
It's
I
more
said
addictive than crack. Like,
it's what it is. So you just explain it. No, sir, it's food. It's not
food.
fentanyl.
It's not
addictive,
food.
but it's
potatoes, gravy, cheese curds, and maybe you could throw a little chicken on there. Let's live dangerously. You can do a little Thanksgiving poutine with some stuffing on there. But back to Christian nationalism, or nationalistic Christianism, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The America is ground zero for like the Western world's first theocracy, right? That's what the Islamic Republic of Iran is. That is what Afghanistan is. That is what Iraq is. They are religious dictatorships, extremist religious dictatorships. Well, congratulations, America. That's exactly what you have. You have an authoritarian that is backed by, at the service of the evangelical, hardline, authoritarian Christian nationalist movement, led by the same assholes that we're going to talk about, whether they be televangelists like fucking Falwell or Joel Osteen, or any one of those self-aggrandizing Paula White thieving pricks. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you dedicate your life to Jesus Christ as a Christian nationalist, you do it for one purpose, purpose only. It's because you're afraid of dying. And so you say this magic prayer. It's called the sinner's prayer. I'll take you through it. Dear Jesus, come into my life, make me a brand new person, take over my heart and my life. I dedicate my entire life to you. Amen. That's it. Boom. Guess what, guys? Guess what? You're going to heaven. It's called eternal salvation. And what comes with that is an oath that you swear to your Lord and Savior, because eternal life, living forever counts on it, right? The lights will go out if you don't do this. Living forever counts on it. You serve your Lord before your wife, before your kids, and before any oath that you swear.
Yep.
If you become an elected official. So off the fucking jump, you're already compromised.
Yep.
So yesterday in the podcast, I mentioned that. And I was inundated by hate fuel. Go and watch it. Our Substack Live with Zeb yesterday. Hate-fueled religious zealots going, you're the devil. You're Satan. You're the devil. Christians and Muslim extremists, they can no, they can't. I don't care what your religion is. When you swear an oath to a higher power for eternal salvation to live forever, which in itself is fucking hilarious, like really funny, because the word faith comes from, if you look at it in the dictionary, it's the belief in something with absolutely no proof due to religious apprehension. That's what it fucking means. It's in the dictionary. So you got no proof, and I'm going to mock you for the rest of my life. Very hard. And folks, there should never, ever, ever, and I mean this, like I'm fucking thinking of starting a petition to ban, like you got to take a fucking ideology test. If you are a religious extremist or if you've dedicated your life to any higher power for eternal salvation, which comes before any oath you swear to the people you said you'd protect, you're gone. No mas. You can't run for office. That's the country I want to live in.
It might get to that
it might be like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's the governor of Arkansas, who lives by these faith systems. And guess what? She is subservient to her fucking husband. She took one of these oaths and she's subservient to her husband. That's fucked up. My governor, I didn't elect her husband to be governor. I also didn't elect her, but our state did. And now her husband is really governor. That's fucking stupid. Like, Arkansas, you actually have to have a religion to run for office, for state office. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not democracy.
So it's the same thing in Tennessee. Like it's Tennessee.
What, like you have to have an identifiable ideology or religion to be able to run for office?
you have to have an identifiable religion. Like it's because when I was organizing back in 2012, they approached me to run for state rep office, and I was like, I can't. And they're like, it's like, why? I said, I'm an out atheist. I've literally talked about it online. You know, I can't run, you know.
It's
and
stupid.
So like you have to believe, I think it's in the Constitution, you have to believe in God. I think that's what it is. It's like you have to believe in God.
Talk about freedom, right?
It's so and it's interesting because like I used to take I would take the piss out of these people because you know I got my bachelor's degree in history and philosophy with emphasis in religious studies as a direct response to growing up in the buckle of the Bible Belt. You know, and I had a buddy of mine that, you know, used to listen to this like, well, you know, if you believe in your Lord Savior, Jesus Christ, you know, it's like, I'm not going to hell, but you will. And my buddy would go, so you did this because you wanted fire insurance.
Exactly. That's exactly.
You wanted spiritual fire. Not because you think it's true. You know, you wanted spiritual fire insurance. And, oh, man, I used to piss him off so bad.
Dude, one of the things that they teach you in evangelical Christianity is something called apologetics. So how to defend your faith. And one of the key components of that is something you just mentioned. When you're witnessing to someone, meaning when you're trying to propagandize them, when you're trying to bring them over to the other side, the dark side of Christianity, when you're trying to, this is what you got to do, which by the way, it is MLM. That's what Christianity, that's what religion is. It's let's get you in the door so that you can give us 10% of everything you make on Sundays. It's all it is. It's but they'll attach the afterlife to it. And so you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're like, do I give these guys 10% of everything I make, or because I don't really have a lot, but it's in the Bible, and they're telling me I'll give you 10%.
What if I don't? I'll go to hell.
Yeah, but they attach the afterlife to it, which is truly phenomenal. But one of the things that they tell you is that when you're witnessing to people, and they used to tell us this all the time in youth group. I don't know if you guys ever went to youth group. It's where they propagandize kids.
Yep.
Hellfire and brimstone, and they tell you how much hell hurts if you don't accept Jesus as your savior. It's like burning in sulfur forever, kids. And you're like, holy fuck, I guess I better do this. And what they teach you is that in itself is fire insurance. And if you're still reticent, in joining a religion that you can in no way prove exists. By the way, you get more from Google than you do from praying. If
Google's a better oracle too. She talks back to you.
Well, now Google's all fucking AI, so you can like literally have a conversation with it. And it responds right in real time. You don't put your hands together and go, I guess here we go. I'm going to roll the dice for the rest of my life, just throwing prayers out.
You could put your hands together. You could just use audio for Google Now and just pray to her.
Yeah, that's true. I guess
please
you
answer
could.
my question. I have this question, oh Lord. Please give me information, oh Lord.
It'll work when voice demands. You can pray now right into Google. Actually, it's a fucking brilliant idea.
New app.
Yeah, it's a great.
Nobody steal that shit.
The prayer app. Don't that. Please.
Fuck you, Christian. Fuck you, nationalist Christians. That's our idea. We're doing it.
So the one thing they tell you when you're witnessing to people too, and I'll just end with this, is what Frederick just said, which is fucking hilarious. This is what they tell you to tell people who are still on the fence. Listen, if I'm wrong, you've lost nothing, and you have insurance forever. That's literally
fire insurance. It's fire insurance
for the soul. They're fucking
Yep.
But dude, here's the fucked up part.
For them.
Here's the fucked up part. That's why America is in the mess it's in.
Yep.
That is like you can talk about fascism and Putin, and you can talk about all these other things, but my God, they have wrapped fascism in a fucking cross and an American flag.
Yes. Yeah, they did exactly that, and it's a grifter. They're all grifters. Every single
one of them.
MAGA and the far right and the fascist movement that's going on is they're grifting pieces of shit. Riley Gaines is a grifting piece of shit. She came in 5th place in a swimming meet once and got mad because a transgender person was swimming, and she got all upset about it. She's just a fucking whiny brat. Kyle Rittenhouse is grifting off murdering people. Yeah. I found someone this morning, someone who's grifting off just trans hate, and she's using it as a psychology session. They're grifters and they fucking suck, and it's an MLM. I fucking love that. I'm going to take that and we're going to destroy them with MLM speak. So I have a question because I want
to let me
Freddie wants to jump in, Freddie.
Freddie, jump in, brother.
Which beardo first?
Which beard goes long? Which beard is longer today?
Here's the interesting thing to look like. You're absolutely right, Dean. Like, they have wrapped fascism and white supremacy in the cross.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they've done that is because if you look at American society, so like 1970, this is pre-Roe, all this stuff, 90% of Americans classified themselves as Christian, right? That was the survey. So 90% is Christian. There are more people now that identify as non-affiliated than there are people affiliated with religion.
Mm-hmm.
The sect that has had the largest drop, like, I think Catholicism has dropped by like 5 points. So it kind of fluctuates. It goes, it's like it was like at 27%. Now it's down to 22.
It's like a Doge ticker on that crypto scam shit, where it's up.
Other religions,
down,
Islam,
it's down,
has stayed
it's
pretty
worth
consistent.
Nothing either. It's also all just the same because it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
Other religions have pretty much stayed the same across the board, except mainline Protestantism has seen a dramatic drop since 1970.
Yeah.
A massive drop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because, as Nick pointed out, you have all these grifters. You've mentioned Joel Osteen, all these people, all these grifters, Paula White, all of this, because, this whole bet you make with MLM, it's like, well, what do you lose? Oh, I lose my money. I'm losing potentially my
ability to think critically for my fucking self.
You're going to a cult.
I'm not making my life better here. I'm living in hatred and bigotry because, they don't sell anything that Jesus actually did.
Correct.
Right? You don't see anything through Matthew where it's like, that which you do for the least of me, you also do for me, when he's talking about the immigrant, the convict, the stranger, all the people that were considered marginalized groups. They're not preaching, the woman who committed adultery that Jesus stopped from stoning, right? They're not preaching Jesus's ministry anymore, right? they're preaching Leviticus. They're preaching the hate-filled shit, right? They're not even preaching Proverbs. You got these alpha males that like, iron sharpens iron. And they forget the second part, which is, so too, the village sharpens the individual. Like, basically, because that part's talking about collectivism. They dropped that part. And I want to have that discussion. You know?
Well, but listen, you're touching on some really important shit here, Frederick. Like, I can truthfully tell you that, you know, and we talked about Catholicism, the OG of cults, by the way. It was the very first one. There are 40,000 different denominations of Christianity. There are currently over 4,000 different gods that are being worshipped on this planet right now. 4,000. So somehow this one version of Christianity, which is the most hateful version of Christianity, which, as you point out, it really lives in the Old Testament, you know, about throwing gay people off the top of fucking mountains and, you know, blowing up Sodom and Gomorrah and immorality and all the things that fit into today's culture war. And something happened yesterday which really kind of buttresses the conversation that we're having here about the problem with religious ideology as it fits into the American political ecosystem, as it fits into every political ecosystem, is every major war has been fought under the pretense that this is a religious war. Iran, Israel, every major war, every single one. Every single fucking war has been fought behind the banner of you need to do this for your higher power. You know, our culture matters. We've been persecuted for so long. That is all the rhetoric behind MAGA's influence, by the way. Every piece of that is we're going to take America back. Well, what is that? You're going to take it back from all the Muslims and black people that don't practice any of your religious bullshit because you're white supremacists. That's what MAGA is. And something happened yesterday that was very interesting. And there's little cat calls that I see all the time that are hidden in disbelief. Yesterday on Fox and Friends, your dotard president, the orange clown, your rapist in chief, the sexual assaulting felon fucking president who is responsible for the creation of the Epstein list and hiding the Epstein list, who is currently working with a genocidal maniac to give away Ukraine and take over the world and make America a fucking weird old empire. He said on Fox,
I can only love you so much. Just you gotta stop.
Stop making us enjoy you more, dude.
Sorry, guys. You just start the frothing early. But what happened is he said on Fox and Friends, they're like, what's the motivation behind you trying to find peace in Ukraine? And by the way, he's not trying to do any of that. He's trying to prolong this. He's trying to help Putin. That's what he's trying to do. And he says, you know, at some point, I'm just trying to get into heaven, guys.
That's not how you fucking do it.
I'm just trying to get into heaven, you know. And then he's like, but as I hear, I'm pretty low on the totem pole right now, so I'm just trying to get into heaven. And then the White House press pool, Caroline Leavitt, evangelical ISIS Barbie, stands up there, and someone asks her about it. They're like, hey, the president said this morning he's trying to end the war in Ukraine because he wants to go to heaven. And she fucking co-signed it. She's like, yeah, it's true. He wants to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven. Everybody in this room wants to go to fucking heaven. And I'm like, oh my God, if you read the Bible, the New Testament, Old Testament, specifically the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, it's littered throughout the first 4 books of the New Testament of the Bible, which, by the way, I can recite, which is like a curse at the same time. It's great for conversations like this. Jesus, the philosopher, he wasn't a god, by the way. He never rose from the dead. Jesus, the philosopher, much like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. I'm a philosophy guy too, Freddie. Jesus, the philosopher, said, it doesn't matter what you do on this earth. Your deeds are dirty works. They're rags. They're inconsequential. What matters is your devotion to the ideology which I stand for. And you've recited the ideology, which has been bastardized over 100 different translations of the Bible for different religions so that they can treat it like an opium for the masses and they can control people's thought processes. Jesus was a philosopher who preached all the good things that we're talking about, who, if he came down from the clouds today, which, by the way, is never going to happen, if he came down from the clouds today and he looked into the soul of America, he'd fucking weep. He
would go right back up. He would just leave.
He'd say, nah, I'm fucking out. Yeah,
I'm done. I'm good. I quit. You guys fucking suck. You fucked up. You done messed up. And somebody said in the comments, and I want to comment on it, is we're ragging on fundamentalist religions and
Yes.
fundamentalist beliefs and on people who use those to weaponize their beliefs into hatred and taking over the government with it. I don't I don't subscribe to religion, but I think it can have good power if you use it wisely and use it for the moral and ethical teachings that are available through it. Progressive churches are great at it in a lot of ways. We're not attacking them. James Tallarico is a great example of a Christian that I would follow because he doesn't put his faith as the cornerstone of our laws. He puts it as his moral cornerstone, but not his legislative cornerstone. Whereas these people put it as a fucking legislative cornerstone and they want to make it so all of us are in their little hateful fucking bubble, which leads me into my question as we shift just a little, but not really, is what is your favorite story of the week so far about our tiny tank, little testicle, pucker face Trump?
God, fuck, I love this podcast so much. Favorite story of the week. I mean, you know, he ran away with it yesterday with his comment about wanting to go to heaven. I thought that was absolutely spectacular.
I didn't even hear that, dude. I'm like,
dude.
I'm like, as soon as you said, I went, oh, Jesus, man.
Oh, yeah, I'll post the video. There's two of them. They're great. But I think my favorite moment is, you know, Trump is unwell. Like, he's got congestive heart failure. And someone told me the other day, they go, dude, the neurological issues he's got, the bruising, the liver spots, the edema, that can also be late stage syphilis. So before I was talking to you guys, I'm like, what are the signs of late stage syphilis? Let's go.
Oh my God, he's dying of an STD. He made it through
that's how
his own
Capone
Vietnam,
went.
and now he's
Right.
dead.
Yeah, that's how Capone went. Yeah, Freddie, what were you going to say?
What? Oh my God, if that's the case, I might believe in God again. I'm just saying, you know.
I still won't, but I'll be grateful for the news because that
I'll
makes
give
a
him
lot
a
of
high
sense.
five when I die. I'll give God a high five and be like, "Thanks, man. That was the right
it's
fucking
like
choice."
you're still an asshole, but all right, I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
But you know, so
questions,
to kind of touch on what we were talking about in the comments.
Well, hang on. I want to get to my favorite moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not done.
I thought that was it. I was like,
it's a little. No. That's 1B. This is 1A, boys. Sitting across.
This is A-League.
This is A-League. Yeah, sitting across from the president, so the prime minister of Finland, Alexander Stubb, right across from him, like literally 3 feet across the table, for 15 seconds. Your orange clown, tiny testicled, fucking rapist president is like this, and I'm not paraphrasing, but I'm kind of paraphrasing. I was in Finland. Anybody? Bueller? Guy's right across from him, like right in his face, and Stubb goes like this. I'm right here, Mr. President, and he's like, oh, there you are. And it was in that moment I was like, the dementia's officially taken over, or the late stage syphilis. Either way, that was my favorite moment to answer your question.
That's just.
Please let us know how you really feel about him, because we haven't even gotten into some of your other favorite
You don't have
characters.
to soft sell it on this shit. You can, don't censor yourself.
I'll try and find. I need a thesaurus to get more clever about how much I can't stand that man. And listen, I hate him because I live on the outside. It's easy for me to do it, but I hate him for what he's doing to the quality of life of good men and women like you. Like, that's what really upsets me, is that here in Canada, and this is worth noting, is that we love America. Talked to a couple from Buffalo when I was at the cottages last weekend. They're like, we hate it down there. We're thinking of moving here. And I'm like, well, welcome to Canada. And the woman started to cry. She goes, that is so nice. We thought you hated us. I'm like, no, we love Americans. We just don't like that American or any American who voted for that guy. And we know those people aren't real Americans. There's MAG Americans. Then there's Americans. You guys are Americans. And that's why I use the colorful language to support real Americans.
So we have one of the things that's been starting is cross-border like networking for major networks. I know the Midas Touch is starting a new thing in like Midas Canada. What do you think of that? What do you think of that approach to help get? Because I view Midas, at least for me, because we're a small publication on Sick of the Shit with Nick and on Banner and Backbone, our new one, which is our civic-minded stuff. We're still a small publication, but they give us an umbrella to be able to speak much more openly. What do you
Mhm.
think of them expanding into Canada as like a full-on network for Canadians?
It's interesting because I'm a big fan of nationalizing media. Like, our biggest problem up here in Canada is that almost every daily newspaper, every major daily newspaper is owned by Chatham Asset Management. Now, yeah, you're probably sitting there going, that doesn't matter, Dean. What's Chatham Asset Management? It is a MAGA owned David Pecker hedge fund that owns all of our daily newspapers. So guess what they virulently support? Disinformation, Donald Trump, the Maple MAGA guy here, gaslighting 24/7, lying, taking the other side of the coin. Effectively, it's like Fox News, but it's every major daily newspaper. So on one hand, I'm a fan of nationalizing it. I don't think anybody in Canada, specifically if you're not Canadian, should own, or like if you're a foreign national, you're from another country, if you're bringing money from somewhere else to buy media, you should not be allowed. We need to roll that back. We have to. That's like job
Agreed.
one, and I know Mark
Same
Carney
for
is
the
trying to do
US.
that. However, we live in a time when information is borderless, right?
Yes.
Mainstream media has shot themselves in the dick way too many times to be trusted.
Yep.
We know they're as corrupt as corrupt gets. We know that they don't mind the gap when it comes to real information, affirmation. We know that they are giving Trump all kinds of leeway and this fascist movement all kinds of legitimacy by not holding their feet to the fucking fire. People like Midas, Ben, and his brothers, they've done an incredible job. Incredible
Mhm.
job,
Yeah.
specifically, and I thought about it the other day when Biden was in. They kept going. They kept
Mhm.
moving. They kept warning people. Now, are they alarmist at times? Yeah, but we're in an alarming time where, you have to be able to pay attention to those signposts. The guys at Midas are dogged in the information that they give that you cannot find anywhere else, that gives context to exactly what's happening in the United States. And for them to come up here and to team up with guys like Charlie Angus, who is an interesting politician. He's kind of, taken this and ran with it. This is a not just, he's not just an advocate, but he's making money doing this too, right? Like
Yeah.
this is a job for him. He's pivoted away from politics, needed something, so he's jumping into bed with the guys at Midas. But Charlie is as Canadian gets, and he will honor the opportunity to be able to, take Midas and spread that brand around this country. I'd be lying if I said there weren't opportunities there for people like me and other people that I know as well. But
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I don't live in that. I don't live in that world where, I like to give my lunch to somebody else to share it because I'm so fucking pigheaded, and that I have to do it on my own, and I also have to do it with people that I want to do it with, right? So,
Yeah.
but to your point, they've legitimized operations and publications like yours. They're the reason that in the past 5 months, I've seen this unbelievable growth. One of the biggest reasons of our Substack and the incredible support from people, not just in Canada. I've got about 8,000 subscribers in Canada. We've got about 23,000 subscribers in the United States of America, 132 different countries. Midas Touch has set the tone, right?
Yeah.
They really have for so many, and made it okay for people to be unafraid to be able to have these conversations because we tell the truth, but we also affirm the you as not crazy when we're having these conversations, right? I put out a post that said, "Here's things I believe." I misspelled believe on purpose because that's what you do. Here's what I believe, and it was a litany of things about Donald Trump: that he had Epstein killed, that he was his partner, not just a client, that he probably had Ivana killed, that he, like just this, that he is a pedophile, he is a child abusing, woman abuser, he is a sexual predator, all of those things. And it got, I don't know, like a million and a half views. And I thought to myself, oh my God, people are afraid to say this. And when
They-
someone says it and stands on it, it's like it gives people wings where they can go, I believe those things too.
I do too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
okay to believe those things. And you've got other people talking about them. And that roster of people grows, whether it's you, whether it's Mycelis, whether it's me, whether it's Zev, whether it's Lev, whether it's Cohen, whether it's Nance, doesn't matter. Being unafraid and living under that umbrella of courage is only possible because of guys like the Mycelis brothers, guys like you, to a small extent, people like us. where we have the ability to be able to confidently speak truth to power, and that to me is good. I think Midas in Canada is a good thing.
Awesome.
100%.
So this sort of leads because you brought in some names that I wanted to talk about for a second is Zev. Um, Zev specifically in this case because he talks so much about Epstein and he's so involved and so knowledgeable on that topic. And we have a really incredible contributor who's part of the Banner and Backbone Network, and you've probably seen her stuff around is Ellie Leonard.
Oh, she's in the chat right now. Yeah, I
She's in
just
the
saw her.
chat, and I'd love to see if we can organize Ellie and Zev on a show together. Um, because I think they have so much that they could talk about and could connect dots where they each have found really enticing, but also really closely knit things. And I think we need to get all of these contributors into one place where they can just unload. Like that was sort of what we did this weekend with our 24-hour launch was we were just like, we need to do something that gets it into people's minds that it's okay to say these things and it's okay to keep asking and demanding them. Um, and I think Ellie and Zev would do a fucking incredible job just ripping the Trump administration and this whole plot of conspiracy down to its core and its parts and expose who hasn't been talked to so that all of us can collectively go, hey, fuck you. We're going to go do it ourselves. And maybe we can start suing people. Like, maybe we should start fucking suing people as a group and using our power for some good because they sue the shit out of us for stupid things. It's about time we sue the fuck out of them. What do you think about that, Dean?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and someone who's no stranger to lawsuits as well. So I have some expertise in this space.
I figured you might have an experience or two with some lawsuits.
Well, like there are Jack Posobiec, Charlie Kirk, that whole group. They're loosely associated with this group here in Canada named Canada Proud, who are effectively just a Maple Mega meme company, right? Like they're just a lobby group. They sued me. And then one of the fake convoy trucker lawyers, Eva Chipiuk, threatened to sue me last week. So yes, lawsuits, if you haven't been embroiled in them, are no fun. But to your point, pushing back is important, and I don't disagree. I think we're building a resistance in a community, and to be able to find different people on this app, Substack specifically. I was yelling into the void on Twitter, and I have a significant following on Twitter for Canada, right? It's 127,000 people, something like that. I think 127,000. And I came to Substack and like 5 months ago with 0 followers. And I'm like, I'm going to give this a go. It was like kind of a last ditch effort to, because I do other stuff too. I've got a couple of other gigs. And this is sort of, as my history in broadcasting came to an end, it was something I wanted to keep a toehold in messaging and broadcasting and branding. We've got a media company and all that other stuff. So when I came here, I expected a Twitter experience, where you put something out and you get shit posted by 50 trolls and 20 bots and called a pedophile and a child groomer and all that other shit, right? Like I was expecting it. And it was instantaneous, the community that I found of like-minded people who had the courage to be able to speak truth to conviction. And the growth was exponential in the first month. Second month, it was even bigger, to the point now where we've got thousands of paid followers and subscribers. We've got tens of thousands of subscribers. And we do a daily email to people. It's called the Daily Dean, where we're going to give you 5 stories you need to pay attention to that democracy lovers need to be aware of on both sides of the border. To answer your question about, borderless media, I think it's really fucking important because we have a different perspective than you because we're on the outside. And, to think about what this community has meant isn't just, the subs and the followers and the emails and the content. It's the fact that other people like you and me and Zev and Ellie and Lev are all connecting, going, let's build a bigger fucking boat.
Yeah.
Let's go forward together and figure this out, because everybody has a different angle, but everybody also has the same conviction, which is this is wrong. And the media outlets that we grew up respecting, we can't respect or trust anymore.
Nope.
And so to your point, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves. And that's been the most incredible part of being on this app. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Because because I came out of nowhere. I lost my job 2 months ago in the tech field, and I got pissed off, and I write fucking poetry, and I was like, I'm gonna write poetry in a podcast. And then I got invited onto a live, and I'm like, I really fucking like this. I like talking. I want to talk to people. And then it just blew up because we can be engaged in this community, but we can also get engagement back where you guys ask us fucking questions and we answer them. Like, where it's not like YouTube though. Like YouTube is too algorithmic, whereas here it feels more natural, where like people actually communicate and talk to each other and don't want to fucking call you and not this is some of the nasty shit. Like, I won't even say it. I won't go down the anti-Semitic route that people will go because I'm Jewish. Like, I'm culturally Jewish, and you can imagine the words that they like to use.
Yeah.
But like, this has been fucking incredible. Like,
Oh
this
yeah.
gives us the space. Like, today has been absolutely a blast because we got the chance to just bro out and just chill out and hang out and have a space where what we like to talk about is men's issues at this point in a lot of ways. We talk about many things on different shows, but one of our issues now has become men's issues because we're reframing it away from the right wing ideology. And I know we only got a couple minutes, so I just want to touch on this for a second. Is what are your thoughts on reframing these arguments out of their terms and start using our own damn words to explain them and stop being afraid of explaining truth without the fear of offending a right-wing bigot?
Well, first of all, you'd have to care about offending a right-wing bigot for me to answer that question. I don't give a fuck.
That's fair point.
That's
That's
a fair
fair
point.
Listen, it's a great place to end the conversation. It's a great question. Men, talking to men. MAGA doesn't exist unless, and Maple MAGA here in Canada doesn't exist unless a few key individuals told men, young men, that they need to be angry. Angry the girls don't like them.
Yep.
Angry they can't afford a house. Angry they don't have a job. Angry they've been passed over. Angry, and this is really important, that the Great Reset is happening and brown and black people are going to take your lives and they're going to marry your girls and they're going to impregnate your daughters. And being able to speak to men, and this is one of my goals and my dreams, is to be able to, because I've got 3 young boys that I brought up with Stoic philosophy, cognitive behavioral therapy, which has really helped save my life and change my life in so many ways. Yeah, good for you. Good. Well, fuck, there's a whole conversation we need to have in number 2, boys. We're going to do this again.
I've been through it too.
Yeah, we've all been through the ringer. Yeah. So
cognitive behavioral therapy. I've been through it too.
yeah, dude, it's so important. It's so important because, what you realize when you teach young men to be men is that it's easier to parent young men properly than it is to fix a broken man when he's older. And young men right now are broken because they've been literally mainlining hate, victimization, marginalization where it has not existed, for so long, specifically young white men, which are the Proud Boys, which are these guys in fucking ski masks running around screaming white power. Those are the guys. We have a major victim, angry young white man problem. And to reframe that, and I like what Gavin Newsom's doing because that speaks to me because he's meeting them on their territory. He's owning their language, but you also have to be able to offer an option to these young men and to be able to tell them that they're in charge of their lives. They're in control of all the consequences that they experience in life via the effort they put in. And there's a tax for everything. You're not a victim unless you give up. And that is what MAGA does. It tells people to give up so that you give them your agency. You don't have to think. Couple that with religious zealots, where they're like, hey, listen, we need an army of really dumb people. What do you do? Well, let's go get the people that believe in a sky daddy with no visible proof whatsoever. Those people are already victims because they've accepted an ideology that doesn't make any fucking sense at all because they can't manage their lives. So what we can do is start reframing, words like you're a fascist hillbilly, which are 2 of my favorite words to call people. You're a fascist hillbilly, you're this, you're that. And having conversations with young men, the ones in the middle, the ones who you can still reach, And I would love to have those conversations here with you guys down the road as we continue to get to know each other and have conversations about what's really important, because I think that that reframing, specifically with two men, two bearded dudes, a Marine and a vet, couple of vets who serve their country with distinction, I think would be absolutely one of the most important conversations we could start having here.
100%. I'm down.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
So we're right at the top of the hour, and we're gonna respect Dean's time here. So we're gonna end the show. Dean, everybody here can obviously subscribe to you right through the button at the top. Please do subscribe to all three of us, but subscribe to Dean. He's got some incredible stuff. Go watch his 5-stack with Zev Shalev in the afternoons. They give really good information and they help keep you informed. Go listen to him with Lev and Olga and all of the team, like all of them working together to expose the truth. And we'll close on this like we always do. Let's stop being sick of this shit, y'all, and let's start fucking doing this shit. This was so much fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you for all of my subscribers. Nick and Frederick, please, again, top left, hit the Chiron. You can subscribe to each one of these guys. They're men with a moral compass and a testicular fortitude you're not going to find in a time when it's really, really difficult to do it in a country where it is very uncommon and unpopular and somewhat dangerous. So you guys continue to fight the good fight. Canada, USA, we're still lockstep, buddy. Guys, we're still right there with you. So let's do this again very soon. And I can't thank you enough for the graciousness of inviting me on. Thanks, boys.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, Dean. This was an honor and a pleasure.
Me too, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, y'all.
There we go.